everybody. I'm so excited to be here. This is my first time in Shillong, but Patralekha's house apparently is 2 minutes away from here. So much of what I've heard and absorbed from the tremendous artists who have come on this stage before us, themes of home, parents, identity. So I want to start asking Patralekha.
I'm so thrilled to be here. I feel so comfortable. It is home. It's been home for so many years. I'm born here. And for some weird reason, I'm always very anxious. But tonight, I don't feel anxious. I feel this is home. These are the people I love. There's so many of you that I know. So it's home for me.
So tell me, Patralekha, as we talk about the idea of a home, our mother's womb, the home made with concrete, our friends, I want to ask you, home like, what was growing up like?
So I live 2 minutes away from this place. I was just telling the people that have come with me from Mumbai that I used to come here every day for morning walks. So this brings back so many memories. I was born in Shillong. A lot of you would know this hospital called Ganesh Das. The sense of belonging is a lot, and I have such vivid memories. I mean, every Sunday, my parents would take us for a picnic. And I remember how green it was, and the air quality was so good. You don't realize it till you can't breathe in the metro cities today. So Shillong's been a very, very special part of who I am. How about you? Tell me about your growing up. Do you have any connect with Shillong?
My connect with Shillong is that my lovely parents, Baishakhi and Anupam, who are here with me, came here 50 years ago for their honeymoon. They have a really lovely marriage, and they're a huge part of who I am. So when I got invited to come here to Shillong for the first time, I had to bring them with me. Home for me my dad was in the Air Force, so we moved from Kashmir to Kanyakumari to Punjab to Bangalore, Delhi, Jalandhar. It was the length and breadth of India, The kind of food that was cooked in our home, the kind of clothes in my mother's cupboard. It gave me a sense of the secular India that we talk about. Sangha, the incredibly evocative poet who stood here and read his beautiful words, talked about what does an Indian look like? Well, looks like all of us here, right? Because I am a byproduct of that India, and it's not, my identity is not located to a particular place. We moved like gypsies from one place to another, learnt one language, forgot the other one, and eventually this might have prepared me for being an actor, where you move from one part to another part. And so I really thank my parents for giving me this rich life that allowed me to experience different kinds of languages, food, stories, people. So yeah, that was growing up for me here. But I want to ask you, given the family that you had, how did that impact your choices as a human being, as an actor?
So Shillong is a matriarchal society, and I'm very blessed to be born here. My parents gave us equal opportunities to me, my sister, and my brother, which back then we didn't understand what does actually equal opportunity mean. I got the same education like my brother, and my parents were very, very clear about their girls have to have an identity of their own. They have to have a professional career path. And it was just not that you were born, you're a girl, and you need to get married. They were very clear about a set of identities, a set of, that we need to earn money. We cannot be living on somebody else's money. So I think those were very important lessons that we learned very early. also, I've studied in the Northeast. I was in Shillong till Standard 6, and then I moved to Assam Valley. That's another boarding school. But primarily, I was in Northeast. Once I went to Mumbai, actually growing up here and learning those ways of living, I never identified myself as, being a woman, apart from we are physically different, men and women. Otherwise, we are equal. That's how I was raised as. But once I went to Mumbai, I thought, oh my God, it was nothing that I learned back home. And it was very different. And actually, growing up here didn't help me navigate so much, because it's a really patriarchal society. And to maneuver around through the patriarchy is quite difficult. But having said that, the career path that I chose needs you to be focused, needs you to have your own opinion. And I think that's what helped me being here. I had my own identity, and I was very clear. And I think that's what growing up taught me here. Okay, Tillotama, I want to ask you about how do you navigate your pitfalls?
I think the largest pitfall of being an actor in an industry which is extremely powered with machismo and is extremely patriarchal. I think one of the things that I learned was to say no. And just two alphabets. It's a very small word, but we hesitate, to say no because we're afraid we might hurt someone's feelings. We might stick out as the odd one. But I think that is something that really saved me, saying no to work which represents women and men as mere shells, as mere stereotypes, as mere caricatures. To be able to walk away from work like that, even if it means being unemployed for 2-3 years and, feeling like that unemployment was better than bringing to life men and women that I had not met, that I had not seen. And I think no was a big thing. I think the other pitfall that one often falls into when one moves to Bombay is a lot about your appearance. I was told to fix my nose, my teeth because they're crooked. And I think coming to terms with the fact that this is who I am, and just deal with it, And I think the kind of directors and storytellers I worked with took me as I am and helped me really understand that this extremely ageist, industry which says that if you haven't made it as an actor in your 20s or 30s, then your game is over. And my life story was very different. I said no, I had very little work, and in my 40s, I had the most amount of work, So who makes these rules? I guess we make them as we, go along. So you married a man who's in the industry. Should we talk about this or should we not?
No, we should absolutely
go
talk
for it.
about the
Tell
man
me.
that I married. So when I met Raj about 13, 14 years back, he's an alumni of FTII. So we met at FTII. I had gone to do a student project there. And he had already had a couple of films that had come out. And, I was like, oh my God, he's a creep and stuff like that, But when I started chatting with him, we had a conversation. I understood, because before that, while I was doing the rounds of auditions, I thought that men don't, male actors. My bad. Perhaps I met men who didn't look beyond their biceps and triceps and the gym and being the next Salman Khan. So here I meet a man who's absolutely in love with his art. He believes in his art, and all he wants is to do good work. I was really blown away with his thought process. We bonded over the love for cinema. I was on the journey of teaching myself acting, and I found him, and who was helping me understand this art form. And we fell in love, and it's been about 13, 14 years of us being together. I got married because my parents wanted us to eventually settle. And my dad was like, okay, now you know, it's enough. And you've been seeing each other for a long time. And we set out on a date. I came to Shillong. Both of us came to Shillong. It was in December or January 2020, early January 2020, just to tell him that we are getting married. And he was over the moon. And he was like, okay, I'm going to do everything. And my dad was the last person who would contribute to these things, because all my life, all I saw my dad doing was work, work, and work. He would leave home early in the morning and come back only by the evening. So my memories of my dad is his office, his chair, and just working. But unfortunately, May 2021, we lost him. And it was really difficult because, you know, he got a stroke and he passed away. And we were not prepared. Listen, nobody's prepared for their parents to pass away. We take them for granted. We think they're just going to be there forever. I hadn't seen death so closely, and I came back to Shillong with his body, and I told my ma, because the lockdown had been announced, so we had to stay back, and I was like, I cannot get married, I'm not in the right frame of mind. But my ma was like, no, you have to, because your dad knows the date, and he was really happy for you. And ideally, I would love for you to get married. Also, it'll be a good celebration. It was really tough, and I did get married to the man that I loved. And honestly, Raj was such an amazing support system, not only to me, to my entire family through the process of grieving. But Tillotama, you know, I've been a great, great admirer of your work. I've seen your journey from Monsoon wedding, your show on Netflix. With each performance, you grow as an artist. And also because I'm an actor, I feel like you bring in a certain different aspect to what has been written, right? To the written material. You bring in something different to what a director perhaps could have said. I feel like there's a director in you. What do you think?
I am looking and I'm finding, and I'm looking for the director in me. I don't think I have the courage for it, but what I am doing is I'm keenly observing all the directors I work with. I'm collecting data and I'm mining their brains. I'm plumbing into the depths of their thought, their thinking patterns, how they tell a story, structure a story, cast a story, edit a story, what to leave. What you don't say in a story is as powerful as what you say in a story, right? And I'm really beginning to understand the moving pieces. And so I don't know yet, but I am very much interested in learning about everything that goes into making a good story, making a good film. And 5 years ago, I met this wonderful couple, Soumyananda Sahi and Tanushree Das, and they came to me with a story called Shadow Box, and I was so moved by the script, and then they asked me to act in their film, which I was glad to do, but something incredible happened. They invited me into the process of rewrite, the various rewrites that the script went through. They involved me in that. I came on board as a producer. And the reason I say this and I share this is because often I'm asked to talk about depiction of women in Indian cinema, empowerment of women. Give women more power. Give women more things to do. Don't use our bodies to just tell your stories. Make us a part of, and a producer is someone who's part of a team, that protects that story, that nurtures that story, that sees how difficult it is to tell a story. As an actor, you come, you use your body to tell the story, and then you leave. You don't know how difficult it is to distribute that story, to make that story reach people. So I say to a lot of young actors and storytellers, learn about everything that happens behind the scene and beyond. And so I look forward, in this very tumultuous time, in this very confusing, depressing time that we live in. And this wonderful musician, Clayton, I don't know if you're still here, brother, but you sang this song, and there were these, I'm paraphrasing, but you said something about when you feel you've moved far away from your home, I hope you have the courage to embrace the unknown. And so I tell myself that while I don't have the courage to be a director yet, and to tell my own story like Trinetra did before me, Mirenla, Amol, I prefer the comfort of a conversation between two friends. I hope I have the courage to embrace the unknown of being a director one day, but until then...
I believe that you're being very hard on yourself because I followed your journey. I know, Tillotama, you're just a ball full of talent, and the world is waiting for you to be out there, to be telling your stories.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you for listening to a conversation. I had to look at you and her. It's a bit confusing. Thanks for the light. I'm Roshan's vintage. I'm a 1970s kid, so I can't see very well without my glasses. But thank you, Shillong. You've been amazing. Thanks for the music, the warmth, the love. And Patra, thank you for sharing what you did about your family.
Thank you, Tillotama. It's just been so nice to be back home. Every time I feel not really happy or I feel like the city is getting to me, I mean, I come here and I just feel like all my worries just go away. It's strange. It's like coming back to your mother's womb. That's what Shillong means for me. And really, God's been really kind. We don't choose the place where we are born. And I am born in this heaven, so...
Truly, it's the most beautiful place, the forest that I walked through thanks to Keith. Walong, my new friend from Shillong, thank you for showing me how beautiful this place is, because the sense of grief that we feel being in an overbuilt city like Mumbai, the gift of Shillong is even more precious because of where I live. So thank you everybody.
Thank you guys for listening to us.
Thank you.